Enbridge representatives are touring again. Enbridge is meeting with community members around northern Minnesota to inform the public about the Sandpiper Pipeline project. Sarah Madison had a chance to meet with company reps today to talk about the latest updates.
The Public Utilities Commission has recently granted an extension of the comment period for the Sandpiper Pipeline proposal from April to May.
We've been studying this since really 2011, 2012, and gone through a number of different routing possibilities. I can't even begin to tell you.
But Paul Stolen, a retired DNR pipeline regulator, disagrees with Enbridge.
Both corridors that Enbridge wants, and those are very problematic corridors. There's places where along both of those routes where a pipeline rupture would destroy lakes.
Enbridge says they've looked at the new proposals, but some of the route alternatives end at different refineries. Since the demand is so high, they say transporting crude oil to Superior, Wisconsin will likely not change.
So to suggest that, hey, don't take it to B, take it to C, well, if the refineries that they need to deliver to are not at C, which is the case here, it doesn't do us much good.
There are other ways to get oil to refineries, period. They don't have to have it at Superior. The oil can be refined in many different places. It doesn't have to be done at Superior. Other businesses actually don't like what Enbridge is proposing.
75% of Sandpiper will follow existing corridors, and Enbridge says it avoids the lakes. They even incorporated changes that were given during their public hearings.
We do try to route around lakes. In fact, in Sandpiper, we're routing around all lakes. We're able to do that with this alignment, so we're glad about that.
The problem with existing corridors is the law requires you to look at cumulative impacts, and the corridors are getting wider and wider, but the fundamental problem was that the corridors were established before the environmental laws, so in many places those corridors are in poor areas.
To protect the lakes region, Enbridge stresses they are using the latest pipeline technology, and the company is 100% liable for any spills and ruptures.
And so protecting the environment is very, very important to Enbridge. Certainly there's a liability, as you mentioned, and consequences if we don't, which are substantial. But more important, it's just not acceptable. It's not acceptable to our employees to have a leak, and it's not acceptable to the communities that we work in.
But opponents say more oil being transported means bigger risks, and that could lead to more damage if a spill occurs.
The Federal Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration came out with a finding that the Enbridge spill in Michigan was caused by poor management, poor control center personnel, training. They didn't detect the leak for 17 hours. That was almost 1 million gallons of oil that went into the Kalamazoo River.
Currently, major decisions rest in the hands of the PUC, which is accepting public comments on the Sandpiper Pipeline project at this time. Reporting in Bemidji, Sarah Madison, Lakeland News.
Proponents and opponents of the pipeline project have filed written arguments with the Public Utilities Commission, and oral arguments were made today in St. Paul. You can go to our website at lptv.org for the latest updates.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.